Yeah. And looks like we're live. Hello guys, hope everyone's doing okay. And just double checking the audio. Yeah, it looks like it's fine. Yeah, so we're going to do another one of these little Groom studies, just because I'm moving out pretty soon, so I don't really want to continue on the long projects for now. So we're going to try to kind of do this over the course of the week. I'll do a stream each day, basically, until it's done. Yeah, so this is a guy called Oliver Tree. I've taken my kind of mannequin head scene and tweaked it basically to be more similar. So the original scene obviously was with this mannequin head, so I've sculpted that just to be vaguely closer to softer features and that sort of stuff. I've tweaked it since this image, but yeah, I've worked on the sculpt just to make it a little bit closer to Oliver Tree, which should make it a little bit easier. But yeah, so we're just going to try to work through the head groom. Maybe someday I'll do something with eyebrows and stuff as well, but for now we're just going to work on head grooms and getting things out relatively quick. So yeah, there's not really much else to say. I'm going to test out something I've never used before, which is the mesh cut modifier. So I can't guarantee that I'll finish this project without many bugs, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so I'm going to move this off to my other screen for now, because we're just going to use the sculpted mesh as a kind of proxy. So first thing we need to do though is make him partially transparent. There it is. There we go. So we can use him as a reference. So let's just create proxy LYR. Yeah, I've also modelled some very simple sunglasses. They're not exactly a match to the ones that he's always wearing. They're just kind of vaguely sunglass shaped, but they get the general idea across. So that's him done. Let's get the scalp. So let's start creating our scene. So obviously a project is set. It kind of goes without saying. So we're just going to go in, create a Oliver Tree 01 call. And this one will be head, hair, 01, description, placing shipping guide. So one of the difficult aspects of this one, well, there's two difficult aspects. So on paper you'd think this is quite a simple groom. In a way it is, and in another way it's really not. The first thing that we're going to have to figure out is how to get such a clean line, because doing that with guides is not going to be simple. There is a tool built into xgen called the mesh cut, which should do this. I've never used it before, but I know this is the sort of stuff it's used for. The other thing that's going to be difficult is getting such perfect layering. I'm not sure if this is actually real hair. I don't think it is, at least in many cases, because like this looks a lot cleaner than that, for example. But like this image is gold for general information. But yeah, we're gonna just try to replicate this as close as possible. I think the main ref, to be honest, is this one, because this one looks a bit more interesting, but we can use this as well. And this ref here is just to give us a general idea as to how long hair is. This is taken from the Life Goes On music video. It's a bit where it goes upside down. I've just rotated the image to be the right way up. It should look like that. That looks way less interesting to me. So let's put that there. But yeah, so I guess we'll start. There's not really much else to say. So placing shipping guides, yes. Cool. So first thing we're going to have to do is figure out hair length, because we do have this image which seems to show that hair goes almost all the way to the front, and this has some clumps that end like here, but not really many that end to this. Maybe, no, it's not a clump end. Yeah, I think the hair needs to go from the crown all the way forward, which is crazy. And we can decide if we want this parting or not. I think I want this parting, so I'm going to try to do that as well. But yeah, so let's move that over and get some ref up. There we go. So we can hide this now, actually. xgen, add a guide, and we're just gonna go, let's say, here. I'm gonna work on one side almost entirely. Okay, let's scale him a bit more. And also rebuild him. Let's go 8. The actual hair like guide shapes are quite simple. The difficulty is going to be purely in how clean we can get that layering to be. So this is one of those where getting the first few guides right is quite important. Let's open the outliner. Use that as a little ref doc again. Okay, so direction-wise, we'll follow this kind of thing where it sweeps gently to the sides. I may turn off the lock length for this entire groom, to be honest. Just because what matters is where the tips end up. It's not about getting consistent length at all. So we can kind of get away with quite a lot. Let's just copy that shape and get a guide here. Paste guide shape. Although actually I do want, yeah, okay, we will use tool settings, lock length. It looks like the hair mostly sweeps forward. Where's that image? There it is. So it goes off to the side, but it looks like most of it comes forward, so we'll keep that kind of bias towards the front. Maybe it needs to go down further. We'll find out later. Let's get another guide in there. Have you thought about how you look like him yet? Fuck off. He's far too handsome. Can't believe you're doing this, I love it. Yeah, it started as a joke and then just kind of became like, no, I'm doing it, fuck it. I do expect this to be like legitimate hard. Like, I'm not just choosing this purely for the meme, like it is mostly for the meme, but it's legitimately like got challenges to it that I wouldn't get in most other Groom types, so it's worth doing on like a practice basis. I just realised I need to post this to LinkedIn. It's the best way to represent myself professionally. Memes. 1 second. Let me just get the link. There we go. I think I posted it to Facebook. There we go. Cool. That's that posted. So, I'm already kind of having issues with this area. I'm trying to, like, in my head figure out where I want the head to go. I think I kind of want it to, like, drop back. Because back here is where it gets a bit messy, so... Paste guide shape. Yeah, I do love this this hairstyle. It's pretty funny. And I only actually found out about like the existence of Oliver Tree, sorry, like literally a few days ago, really. And his music's actually really, really good. His persona online is also pretty fantastic. Cool. So we need to figure out where we want the hairline to be, because one of the keys to this kind of overhang thing is that we're going to have two separate grooms. We're going to have a short hair groom, which is dedicated to this stuff, although I'll go a little bit longer than this, probably go close to this. And we need a long hair groom. So getting a clean line for that long hair groom is kind of important. Also getting this double layer thing could be quite tricky. But I think for the bottom line I want to go to here, and kind of follow where I've sculpted the short hair. So let's do that. I'm going to just continue that line in my head. There we go. Paste guide shape. And this is where we start to get that territory. So I'm going to at least somewhat try to do it with guides. Hey Ian, how you doing, man? Yeah, I'm going to try to at least somewhat do it with guides, but I'll use mesh cut to kind of clean up the edge. Copy guide shape. You're going to do the collar and jacket also, or just the hair? Just the hair. I want to... Basically in my head I've got an idea for basically this Groom Study series being a collection of renders with this plinth. And like, you know, the mannequin head maybe pushed around a little bit but keeping it very simple. So obviously I've added sunglasses for this guy, but it's still the same mannequin head. It's just a fundamentally different shape. Same top and all that sort of stuff. Because I just want to basically just have a collection of images that look really similar but just show the differences of Groom. I think that could look quite interesting for like something for me to experiment with. Let's get that there. Paste guide shape. Cool. In fact, let's just get these guys into. Cool. So let's go one at a time. But yeah, I'm still not entirely sure how I'll actually achieve this. In terms of like the minor technicalities that make it feel real. Like, achieving this general hairstyle feels like it would be quite easy. It's more a case of making it feel convincing. That's where this sort of hairstyle online tends to kind of suck a little bit. There's so many examples of this sort of stuff being done badly. There's a few ways done really well, but... Okay, so let's just grow some hair. And for now, I'm gonna just work on half the head. So let's hide hair proxy, hide you, show you. And let's go to xgen, mask, create map. So this one will be head, hair, 01, mask. 15 is my go-to, and we're going to start with, let's start with black. Create. Okay. Move off the other screen for now. Why did you sculpt a volume mesh this time around? So I sculpted a volume mesh this time just because the shape of this is so important to the look. Like there's a very clean surface quality to it. And I need a mesh there to kind of help me do that. Like I could do it without the mesh, it would just take more time than I'm comfortable spending. That's the middle line, so let's just get that. Cool. Let's just save the texture, save our ptex. How many hairs would we have in this region? Hair proxy, right, so. Yeah, I can tell already, this is going to be a nightmare. Hey G1, how you doing? So, get texture. So that is 12 for now. Density, let's go 100. Will be the number I expect. Log clear. Okay, there we go. So that's level 1. So how many hairs is that? 17,000. That would make this 35. That feels about right, yeah. Let's add a 0 here. And add some taper. Although we could argue that we actually don't want taper in this case. Yeah, 17,000. So, let's just quickly fix our preview as well. Let's assign tree, grab this guy. Okay, so hair, I'm going to want the standard hair. Let's grab you, assign you for tree hair mat. Cool. Let's just quickly set it up for preview. Tube shader. And just put that into surface. A little bit more yellow. Hey Kubile. Is that how you pronounce your name? Was that correct, or did I butcher it? So that should do. Let's just quickly throw in some values. Something like there. Cool. So let's continue throwing in some guides. At this stage, that's all we can do. Okay, so xgen, I'm going to select this guide here, copy guide shape, and I'm going to go, let's go halfway. In fact, let's go here, paste the guide shape. Right, so kind of works. Go into guide control points, delete you, and move you up. Okay, and then just copy guide shape again. So now we're just going to follow around and put that roughly the same distance each time. Paste guide shape. But let's place them all down. Perfect. So one guide at a time. We'll just quickly throw all those around. That's another one of the things that this Groom is going to be helpful for, is it will teach me to not overdo the whole flow thing that I always go on about. I should extend these a little bit, but we can leave that for now. Let's just focus on getting them all in vaguely the right place. Just Alt save. So you need to be flatter, don't you? Let's just remove the background light while I'm at it. There we go. Be easy to see what I'm doing now. Technically an easy way, or easier way to do this would be to model like some polygon sheets and create guides from those so you know that they're always perfectly layering. So if this doesn't work out, I can give that a go. I think I need at least 3 more layers before this would start to work. That's my guess anyway. I'm obviously going to test it after every layer. So, just out of curiosity, I also need a guide back here as well to help this section. It's going pretty flat. So yeah, one more layer for now. And that's where we can start, I think, getting rid of the block length. So it's actually shorter than I've sculpted it at the back. Normalize. Cool. Go view. So while I'm doing this, does anyone have any questions? There's one line that will go above that one, so I'm gonna give it some space. You're taking out too much room. Kind of ignoring the flows of my sculpt at the moment. We'll find out later if that's a good or a bad idea. You're gonna do the short fade also? Yeah, I will be doing. That'll be a separate groom though. Well, I'll do it on this asset. It'll just have a different description. Because creating the blend between these two in guides would be pointlessly complicated. Like you could do it with a region map technically quite easily, but I think you're just asking for trouble if you try to do that all in one groom. I think this is the length we'll settle at, so these guides are definitely too long, but that's fine. Currently it's like a Groom comb over because of the lack of guides over there. Have a guide in there. Have him vaguely follow along. So you have to go back here, don't you? Might need some more CVs. That's about right. I'll tweak the shape just to make it look more interesting. So something I'm not sure on is the conventions. If you want a busy question, what's the hardest type of hair to groom? Afro, Jerry curl. The one that I have the least understanding of, like I don't even know how it'd start, is... what is it? I mean, Jerry curl would be kind of hard, but there's stuff to it that you could... like, it's so chaotic you could kind of get away with quite a lot of stuff. There's one, I'm trying to remember the name of it. This. I don't know how I'd do this. Like, I straight up don't understand how I would do this other than extreme guide work. But that feels too heavy to do guide work. Like, wavy hair, sure, you could do it in guides, but this feels... like, I don't know how people would do that. And I've seen this sort of groom done really well before by a guy who's not even a groomer, which blows my mind. But yeah, this would be the hardest type, at least in my current state as an artist. Like, that would be the one I have the least understanding of. Let's get a guide in there. Okay. Guide down there. Guide in there. Maybe modelling the geo with good edge loops and extracting curves from those edge loops to get the waviness. Yeah, it's more just a case of I'm not sure how you do the guides for individual hairs to do that. Like, there might be a way using geo, And I need to. What was his name? There's a guy who did it. I think it's like Rob Bryant or something. Yeah, Rob Bryant Jr. He did a really, really good one. Let me see if I can find it. He'll be on his art station, I'm sure. I might reach out to him and ask. Yeah, this one. Like, it's rare to see people do well, although remember he did post updated renders from this at some point. But yeah, this guy does great stuff. If you don't follow Rob Bryant, follow Rob Bryant. Okay, so let's get that in there. So we need a guide in here. Oh, we need to do the center line actually. Hey. What's he diving down like that? Also, a likely stream until about 8 o'clock, so we do 3 hours tonight. See how far we can get. I suspect this is going to be one of those grooms that the blocking section happens really quick, and then it just nosedives. Takes forever at that point after. There's something weird going on in here. Right, so let me just quickly create... I'm going to try a different way of working from the way I usually do, which is I'm going to create every single layer of like clumping and region map in order. So I'm going to do region map first, region mask, then follow it with clumping and clump mask, and then clump 2 and its clump mask, just so that every time I create a node it's already got everything it needs and I don't need to add anything after. So let's quickly create a region map. So head, hair, 01, region map, and then let's just blue. Stroke. Stars pressure. Turn that off. I know my hair doesn't go down that far, but I prefer to have more than I need. This shouldn't, on paper, make any difference to the Groom so far, but I just want to have it there so that I can create my clumps without needing to worry about anything. So save Pt.01. Cool. Let's create this as well. Head, hair, 01, region mask, city to black, create. Cool. And I'm just going to start off by creating a little white blob right there, and then set this to blur. That's not what I wanted. Okay. That's go a little bit larger than we need. Okay, so blur, please. I imagine that's where we'll need it. Again, I don't necessarily know if this is right, but I'm getting it in there just so that I can manipulate it later without losing anything. I'm just curious as to if this will add any stability to the process. As we know, you can always use more stability in action. Okay, so let me create a mirror of these guides. Is that on the center line? Oh, it's close. It's not close enough to worry about it. Although, I guess we can just get rid of that. And just mirror that over. Cool. And then you get to you. My plan to get this to be symmetrical is to go back to this, turn on reflect, basically just repaint over the side I've already got to kind of get the hairline back from it. There we go. So now we can just clean that up. Now we got identical hairlines on both sides. Or near enough identical. Cool. Save textures. Save Pt.01. There's our parting. So, now's where we start experimenting a little bit. I have no idea how the cut modifier works. So we're gonna have to experiment, I guess. So, I'm assuming you need a volume mesh first, so let's create a cube and scale that up a little bit. And we need the guides visible for this. Just so I can make sure I'm not hitting the roots. Okay, let's do something like that. Okay, xgen, mesh, cut, geo. And I'll put that in the display layer for now. Okay, save and scene again, alt save. Modifiers, Let's create a mesh cut. Mesh file. Okay, so that needs to be in the Alembic file. Okay. So let's select this guy. Select you Alembic, cache, Alembic, export selection to Alembic. Current frame, that's fine. Okay, export. Sure, let's put it in here. Xgen mesh cut geo. Okay. Oh, there we go. That's really cool. That's really cool. Okay, so we could create a regular cut immediately following that to get a variation. Nice. So how does that interact with clumping? Have you seen Dune yet? Twice in cinemas. First time at a regular cinema, second time in IMAX, I think it was anyway. Basically just the biggest cinema in Belfast. Why are these hairs here so much closer to the parting? So let's quickly throw in some clumping. So clumping, set up maps, generate. Okay, let's go a bit smaller. Okay, so in this one now, we're going to load an expression, which is percentage affected. It feels very empty at the bottom. I feel like I need the first layer of guys to be flat to the head and have more hair pulled to the tip, or something along those lines. Let me just check my anti-aliasing. Yeah, it's at full. Yeah, that's what I'll need. Okay, so let's get into this guy, copy this, and add you here. $A Pt.01 mask. Yeah, that should work. Let's replace that with... That's fine. Okay. So funnily enough, we actually do want that to be white, at least for now. So we'll just save the texture as it is, save the ptex. Cool. So then we'll just get an additional layer of clumping. So I think I'll only need 2 layers of clumping for this. And then we're going to here. Let's set this to 8. And we've got all this stuff in here already. Okay, and then I'm just going to copy paste U. CO2 mask. CO2 mask. CO2 mask. Okay. Save. And save. There we go. Right. Now what? Let's just block out a quick shader. Yeah, that mesh cut is a really nice tool. It's just feeling too thin right now. Actually, now that I think of it, our cut modifier should be quite subtle, shouldn't it? Just because this has been bowl cut, so you're not going to have much length variation in that. Are you already broken? Why? Why? Okay, so yeah, let's block out our shader. Panel hype shade. Crash? Question mark? Yeah, just save, so it's not a big deal. Nice. Okay. Let's just quickly... This might be Oliver Tree's new look, honestly. But let's get this renderable. So we want to set you to renderer Arnold. Render mode batch. There we go. It's beautiful. Right, okay, so hype shade. So we definitely need a lot more melanin. fact my hair shader is so flat doesn't make this easy. Oh, that my hair, sorry, is so flat. So I need little bits of less melanin. That's too light, I think. Although maybe 4 or 5 might work well. There we go. That's not progressive rendering, is it? Cool. Add a little bit of randomization to that. So I'm just gonna pick a section right next to it. What happens if we whack that all the way up? Hey Daniel, how you doing, man? I think a little bit less randomness, like 3-5 or something. Okay. So now that roughness is too high, so let's back that down a little bit. Oh, that's actually no, wrong way. This is too much of a L'Oreal advert. So let's go, and that's too far the opposite way. Okay, so let's go halfway. This feels like too little melanin. Okay. Put that back on the other screen. Yeah, we're losing a little bit of volume out here. Okay, take that as our first render. Actually, I'll leave that going until it's even cleaner. Hey, okay. That's not what I want. Just double check. Hab shade's already. Hab shade. Okay, this is 475. That was around here. You were around here. And you were a tiny bit lower. Now let's select this itself. Cool, that's already set up. And let's just work with thick from the beginning. Get a little bit extra detail in our groom. Once we start getting a bit more actual detail in our groom, this will work better. Cool. So, first thing to do, delete our guides on that side. Still kind of confused as to why duplicating these guys, or mirroring them, sorry. Why they were the same distance. Oh, okay, I realized what I've done wrong. Let's just quickly yeah, that's one row too far over, isn't it? Okay. Oh, wrong color. Still a little bit confused, so I think that's just because I need to resave my modifiers. Yep. There you go. Still getting these, which is really weird. I'm guessing it's some kind of bug with oh no, it's doing that shit again. Okay, never mind, no idea. You are the best. No, but thank you anyway. Any tips on how to make the afro hairstyle? If you go on to CG Grooming Artist, it's a group that me and a few groom artists moderate for Facebook. Search for a guy called Franchino Lupo. He posted a GIF showing how he does his afro grooms, and his method is really, really nice. And it's very quick, like you can copy it pretty much as he does it. It's a quick method, I mean. So, CG. Cool, so xgen. So to make this feel fuller, first thing we have to do is flatten. Where is it? Okay. Let's go. Frankie? No, Frankino. I've put it in the chat above you. Okay, so let's go. Have you heard of Enemy from Arcane series? No, I haven't. I can give it a search after this. Okay, so we want that to be a little bit more pulled back. I suspect we just need a few more hairs from further up getting down here to kind of fill it out a little bit. Although at the same time I do want to add a couple more guides in here. At some point what I will do is I'll create a groom where hairs are placed at guide locations and do the same mesh cut just so I can get a copy of the guides but cut to do you know about the Arcane series? No, not off the top of my head. I've probably heard of it but don't know it by name. I've probably seen it but not know it by name. Okay. So, I want to adjust the mesh cut. I also want a few more of these actually clumping. There's something I'm curious about as well. If I go into here, not here, sorry, here, does this number update? It doesn't, okay. That was 85, or 86 will do, sure. Cool. So let's grab that mesh cut. So where's that proxy geo? Yeah, so I need to raise this a little bit. Something like that. Maybe even higher. And something I want to try as well. If I add divisions to this. So let's go into the transform component. Just quickly. I can keep better history of that. Let's clear that up for a moment. Okay, so let's modify free transformations. Then I'm going to select all the faces. Do a, oh actually I could do, to keep it cleaner, smooth, but set this to linear. No, okay. We'll just do add divisions then. And let's keep this exactly as it is. And then if we... oh, this won't work actually, okay. Never mind. We'll just do it as it is. Edit mesh. And let's do a transform. Cool. So now, in theory, we can kind of keep oh, it does work. Nice. So we've got history now to make this more or less jagged. So I can use these to create some more chaos. So let's try that. I'm gonna export this cache, Alembic. Alembic, export selection to Alembic. Let's cut higher up now. Nice. Okay. Oh, hey Mike, have you ever done a wet, wet groom specifically? Or any wet hair fur in general? What do you mean wet? Oh, is that just a typo? I've done wet grooms multiple times. Like quite a lot of times actually, come to think of it. Okay, so let's go. We need more guys on top to kind of help it, stop it from intersecting itself. Oh, it's typo. Yeah, I've done wet grooms quite a few times. They're not really too bad, to be honest. Okay, let's set you to 6. Generate. That's not what I want to do. Beautiful. Actually, we don't want that, do we? We just need a little bit of a lift in some places. That's too low frequency though. That works. Okay, so okay, volumers, how are you gonna treat me today? Not really doing anything noticeable. I do, however, want to quickly change this. Cool, so let's get back into there. Cool, so let's load our noise magnitude in there. How many heads does this grow? 36,000. That feels a little bit low now, actually. Let's put you up a bit. Let's go 120. Okay. This is still too strong. Kind of want to get rid of this now, actually. Let's just do rand 0 3. Adding too much complexity too quickly. Okay. As I said, we will need more guides to get it, but I think the clumps are too small. Let's just go set maps, set it to 1.5 perhaps. Go a bit high. In fact, let's crank this up for now. There's a lot of layering issues, so I'm going to need to fix. But I also want to loosen up some of these clumps because they're kind of square. So let's go into this. And let's temporarily do that. Let's fluid paint this. Oh yeah, it floats a different colour. Such a weird feature. Cool. So we need to raise the strength of that overall. So let's flood this up towards 1, but with a low opacity. I can't see. There we go. 2. So let's get some noise in there. Although I'm not too keen on that last bit here. So let's just lower that. 0.5 maybe. Okay, so now let's add our noises. We're going to use probably 3 noises. One generic noise that does a bit of everything. Frequency, let's go 0.3. In fact, actually, so I'm going to undo that in a moment. I just want to do this. Okay, so we can now just lower this. Okay, 0.5. Okay, next one will be a tips noise. This one's going to have a percentage affected. And then the last one will be our strays. I forget that's how it works. Wait. Right, so let's go 25% preserve then. A bit lower. Not quite that low. Okay, let's do round 5 to 15 maybe. Okay, so let's just see what that renders like. Nice. Oh. I know why. And crash? Nope. Okay. There we go. So we need to tweak that shader a little bit more. Groom's obviously way off, but at least we're close enough now where we can start to see what needs to change. So let's go. Shade, do I have you? This is so hard to nail for some reason. That's too dark. Don't like the look of this. Yeah, so we need to get a little bit of that side-to-side movement to make it look more interesting. And these kind of top layers of clumps, which I think our top layer of guides is too short, which might be causing part of this. We're currently, what, an hour and a half into this? So it's not awful. Could look better though. Wonder how I'll do that double layer thing that's got that. And I could do it with a mesh cut, right? It'd be a weird way of doing it, but I could basically like model a shelf into the mesh cut to get this top layer. I guess that needs to go a little bit darker still. do that side layer, which I might do now because that should be a quick win. Although these strays need a lot of work. Like a lot of work. How can I get this look? I also feel like maybe my hairs are too tapered. Because these look really, really sharp. There's barely any taper at all. That might help quite a bit. So let's do that. View store snapshot. Give that a moment to do this thing. May even need to make our hairs a bit thicker. These hairs here feel thicker than these ones. They feel about the same back here. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I really need a top layer. Wonder if that'd be easy to do as a separate groom or not. And you can return to that tomorrow, I think. Didn't make a visual difference of it. Oh, there's some kind of thing happening there. Too subtle though. Is my hair still set to thick actually? Yeah, let's quickly, for science, try over ribbon mesh. Makes a big difference about there. It's weird, the whole tube mesh thing, like having this set of thickness, adds like a contrast to everything. Which this has more of that contrast. Yeah, definitely prefer it with. So let's set that back to thick. Motion blur, yeah, that's fine. Right, okay, so what'll be the next thing to do? Let's get a block out of that side. It's like the front, back, and sides. Well, not front, but you get my idea. Cool, so xgen, create description, head, hair, short, 01. For now we'll allow this to be expressions just so we can get something in place a bit quicker. Then we'll switch it to guides. Set that to 120. Beautiful. Okay, outliner. Okay, so head, hair, let's go short, let's go 1, mask, 15 again. Okay, and let's set that to default. Default black should be fine. Default white even, sorry. Cool. So I'm gonna quickly nip to my other Groom. I'm gonna do everything symmetrical for this guy. Focus. We don't want any stylus pressure. Oh, did I turn off? I didn't turn off reflection. Or turn on reflection, sorry. Stroke. Reflection.
It's changing. That's the main thing. You see, I think that's why the awards have changed, because the kids are changing for a start, and so is the music changing.
Okay, so you need to be cut to about here. I do have a ref to show me the back of the neck. This guy here. So we're just gonna... I'll come back to this area later. I'm just gonna get something in place here. So it kind of goes like a general sweep back, like maybe not that much, but let's just quickly hollow this area out. Revisit the line in a moment. Save textures. CP text. Cool. So let's just quickly get in. Add a cut modifier. Do we need any clumps? I don't think we do. We get a little bit of something here, so I'll add one clump modifier for this guy. It's mostly guide work from here. So let's add one clump modifier. Add clump. Set up maps. Right. So let's do 3, 4, maybe not, maybe 5. That's too big. Let's go 8. And I can probably randomize this a fair bit. Which allows us to go higher on this. A bit too much randomness. Actually, let's just go higher on this. Once we shorten the hair, it should work. Do grooming artists also need to handle dynamics rig of the hair, or is this for CFX department? Depends on the studio, to be honest. Where I worked, my time as a grooming artist was primarily at MPC, and they had a tech anim department. So that will do. Right, okay, so let's get some cut modifier in there. Okay. Mult by C length. Let's just get a bit more variation in there. And we will need a noise as well. Cool, so guides. Let's quickly save. Let's just get some general. I'll mirror these over. Cool. Technically something like this would be best done with Groom split. If we raise enough money for charity, can you get a haircut like this? And we're not doing anything for charity, but maybe if the streams ever get big enough, I can do some nonsense like that. Right, so let's just get this all. Hey man, just want to say thank you for doing this stuff. No worries at all. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, that's bad. Those hairs are way too thick. Let's just step down the width a tiny bit.
It is the best instrument of its kind in the world.
I just feel like we could probably turn off thick if we don't really have it on. Where was it again? Oh, renderer. Oops. What if I set you to ribbon? So let's go into modifiers. Yeah, I think my hair's a bit too dense at the moment, so I need to lighten that out a little bit. So let's set you down to 80 potentially. You obviously also need to blend the actual density map itself. Right. Are we in fixed mode? It feels too early to be in fixed intersection mode. I feel like I need to continue to work on the clumps a bit. How are you so lacking in refinement or definition? There we go, eventually. Kill that off. Oh yeah, because it's yeah, pretty relaxed like that. Okay, so Right, okay, so paint you. It's a bit better. I don't like that it's generating them into straight lines. There's a bit of intersection there. Yeah, needs a bit of fixing. Alright. So, I feel like this top layer, in fact, yeah, before we do this, let's get this top layer of hairs and have them reach further. So, so let's get rid of this side. Get a guide in here, just to help this area get some more definition. At some point we will do that whole kind of top layer clump thing, where we hand place shapes. It'd be nice if there was like a live mirroring in xgen. I mean, I know that xgen's kind of dead, but like, it'd be nice if there was. There's not many times it'd be helpful, but when it is helpful, it would be very helpful. Let's work on these strays a little bit too. What do you mean by xgen is dead? Is the industry moving towards other solutions? I mean, yes, and also no. So the industry in general is moving in the direction of Houdini. But xgen being dead is more in relation to the fact that when was the last time you saw an xgen update? Like, they haven't updated it in a long time. They added xgen Interactive, which is a separate tool from xgen Core. xgen Core is a Disney thing, which Autodesk bought, and xgen Interactive is an Autodesk Groom tool, like built for them, built specifically for Maya. Whereas xgen was kind of made. I think it was Zootopia. So yeah, it's not like it's not the same program. But yeah, xgen itself, in terms of Maya, I think there's still occasional bug fixes. But in terms of actual development, there's been almost no development since 2016, maybe even 2017. There's very little happening for it, which is a shame because xgen is a fantastic tool, but it's just kind of dead. We're not going to get any new major features anytime soon, as far as I'm aware. Granted, I don't work at Autodesk, so I can be wrong. But in this case, I don't think they're bringing it back. Okay, so this guy. But yeah, I mean, if you want to get into Groom, obviously by all means you can still learn. You can still learn Maya and xgen because the fundamental skills are the same. But learning Houdini will give you a leg up. I need to jump into Houdini for some personal work at some point. Let's get a guide in there. Houdini's easy to learn. Yeah, Houdini seems really, really nice. It's something I've done a few tests on it. I've just never done any like proper refined work, which I do need to do at some point. Houdini is also a very good development team in terms of, well, side effects are a very good development team in terms of like adding features. And also the Houdini community as a whole is pretty good at making stuff and sharing it, even if you have to pay for it. It doesn't matter too much. Okay, so let's get you. delete some of these guys. Add them in again manually. So it's not too symmetrical. But granted, I'm not at the stage of breaking symmetry. In fact, yeah, I'll keep them in for now, only because I'm not at the stage of breaking symmetry yet. I feel like this should have higher density. I just need to feather the edges more, so let's do that. Wrong one. Ignore this edge bleed. Will you be interested in trying out a small project like these in Houdini? At some point. I don't think I'd do that. Like, I wouldn't want to learn Houdini while on stream. It's not even a confidence thing. I just prefer to kind of learn things by throwing myself into shit, breaking it, and figuring out how to fix it, which is very boring to watch. I mean, this isn't exactly exciting either, but like, you know, I prefer to do that sort of stuff on my own. Yeah, I definitely will be jumping to Houdini at some point. It's just one of those where I've been meaning to do it for ages, and then every time I'm about to do it, either I'll start a project that kind of requires me to stay within Maya, or I'll do something like buy Yeti, which encourages me to stay within Maya. Like at some point I just need to basically lock down and be like, no, doing Houdini now. But even now, like, so obviously I'm about to move to Canada next Friday, and I need to prep for learning different software, so I can't jump into learning Houdini now because I need to learn other tools. I'm not going to say what those tools are because honestly I'm not sure if it's NDA or not, so I'd rather be on the cautious side with that. Right, I want to make the guys just a little bit more presentable, so I'm going to do this. In fact, actually, I need that visible for a bit. That's the sort of shit I can't do. I can't undo them. Fuck. Ah, shit. Ah, fuck. That was my last save. Yeah, I'll accept that. I just want them to line up a little bit better with the geo that's cutting them. That's something I need to do as well. Hold on now. Have you ever used or seen OGS being used in production? Oh, wait, let me... so I've missed a few messages. Vancouver, no, I'm moving to Montreal. Are there any other tools you'd like to learn that you haven't had the time to yet? A lot. I really want to try out Flame at some point. I obviously want to do Houdini. I want to try out xgen at least a couple times. I want to try out Gaia, which I've actually recently got. There it is, Gaia. I need to kind of dive into that, do some environment stuff with it. Speed Tree is something I'd like to revisit again. I've worked with it before in a production environment, but I've never really done, like, you know, in depth, like making stuff look really good. What else? I want to try... oh shit, what was the name of it? There was an animation tool that was like physics based. It looked really cool. I always like to try tools of kind of every type. Hence why my desktop looks like this. All of these tools I've used on multiple occasions. Obviously some of them not for freelance because I don't have freelance licenses, but in personal projects I've used all of these at least once. Including Blender. This is a very outdated version at this point though. I used that for some tests. That's 2.81. I did some like personal work tests and that. I think there was some renders for clay stuff. But yeah, I do want to add some more stuff to this list because you can never know too many softwares. As long as you still focus on one or two to get them really nice, I don't think you can ever know too many. Alright, so let's grab that hair. Right, so attribute to Arnold. There we go. So you got a little head on there for scale. Cascader, that's the one. Yeah, that's the animation based tool. It was also my first ever, well, second ever CG stuff was in a program called Endorphin, which I learned or tried to learn in 2008. So I'd have been 13 at the time, 12 or 13 at the time. So if I search, what's the name of it? Oh god, what was the name of it? Endorphin. This was the first 3D package that I used outside of Blender. I did potentially something in like 2007 in Blender. It's literally just a bathroom. It was my first time ever trying to model something. But Endorphin was kind of that physics-based animation tool before Cascader. It was a lot more basic. The version of this that you probably have heard of is Euphoria, which is like the production version. That's what Rockstar use in all their games. There was a YouTube series that is the reason I picked this up, called Crack and Splat, which is like 12-year-old now, or 10 years old now. And yeah, that kind of gave me an introduction to animation. My reason for picking up animation was actually Grand Theft Auto 4, because it made me find out about this tool, which made me find out about Crack and Splat, which made me try out my first animations. I wish I had them saved, but I don't. Because they were built, like I did them on my mum's computer when I was a little kid. Well, when I was 12 or 13. So I didn't really have an idea of archiving work at that point. But yeah, so have you seen IGS used in production? How are you thinking Groom and IGS with the guides modifier? Which kind of emulates xgen core. I don't really like IGS. I've never seen it used in a production setting. I've only ever seen it used by freelance artists. I don't like it. I've used it, I really don't enjoy it. I know you can do the guides, but I still find the whole workflow of it just very odd. The noise, I could never really get that noise modifier to act the way that I wanted it to. There's loads of like little things like that. I also don't like how heavy it is in your scene. Like, I understand it gives you a lot of control, you can sculpt individual hairs, but I don't know why you'd want to do that. Like, if you want to get individual hair shapes, you're probably going over the top. I do it in my xgen core grooms from time to time, using like, you know, placed hairs and that sort of stuff, but I don't know why you'd want to do it as like the primary workflow. Anyway, yeah, ran over. I just don't really like IGS, to be honest. Is this rendering? There we go. I'm using IGS in production. Oh, nice. Are you working in film or TV, or? Because I've never really seen it. For cartoon stuff, it's okay. Oh, fair enough. That's the thing. Like, IGS can make beautiful stuff. It's not a limiting tool. It's just not to my taste. It can do fairly realistic stuff. I find Tarkan Sareem does some quite nice stuff with it. I don't know if he still uses it actively. Wow, just looked up Cascader. Yeah, it's a really cool tool. Look at Endorphin, because Endorphin was doing like similar-ish stuff years and years ago, and it's a lot of fun to use. I don't have it installed on this computer because honestly it's probably a dead tool at this point, but having used it, it was a lot of fun. Where's that other Groom gone? What's this error? Yeah, xgen core is a really nice tool, or legacy as you call it. Like, to me it's my favourite like grooming tool. Yeti is good, but I wouldn't even dream of using it for an asset like this. Like, you're just asking for a terrible time if you do this in Yeti. Natrix is actually another tool that I'd like to try at some point. Okay, why is this side group not appearing? Okay, let's increment save again. Thanks for patches. So back to Fic. Multi-threading? What for? What's it gonna multi-thread? I don't trust that. Okay. So we have something blocked out. I think this could be where we kind of end the stream, to be honest. Once I get this to start rendering. And in the next stream we can focus more on getting the feel of the hair again. There it is, finally arrived. Cool. Yeah, I think this is a good place to end the stream. We've done 2.5 hours work and got everything kind of blocked out. It's not looking good by any stretch, but you know, for 2.5 hours it's not bad. It's the main thing at the moment is it doesn't feel like hair, it feels like a really shit wig. Which obviously some people will argue is what like some of these images look like. But it doesn't feel anything like this. The clumps are nowhere near defined enough. There's still some intersection happening. The strays make no sense in mine. Like, they're not following what this is doing at all. So, yeah, I think the mission for tomorrow is to get these clumps, the defined clumps that sat on the top. Get a bit more of that side-to-side motion as well, because one of the things that makes this feel the way it does is the fact that you got some hair which is traveling this way, but then a clump on top which is travelling the opposite way. And mine currently is all just following itself, which makes it a bit more dull looking. So yeah, once we do that, I think that will help a lot. So we just need to work on our clumping. This area is working surprisingly well. It's still not right, but it's not bad either. But yeah, so next stream we'll focus on getting this clumpy feeling, and maybe spend some more time on this side section too, because mine feels way too chunky. Oh, and probably also spend a bit more time on the mesh cut. Get a bit more thickness in the hair too. But yeah, anyway, hope you guys have learned something or enjoyed it. We'll be streaming again tomorrow, probably around the same time as today, just because for the next 2 weeks I've finished Blue Zoo on Friday, as in the Friday just been, so I'm now off work essentially for 2 weeks, and then we move on Friday, or next Friday, Friday 12th. So I've got a lot of free time. I have sold my monitors, which the person should be picking up next week, so that will obviously mean I won't be streaming at that point. I'll be just packing everything away and making sure everything's ready to be shipped. But this week I should be able to stream like 5 o'clock each day. But yeah, so I hope you guys all have a good night. Do feel free to comment and ask for other types of grooms I could do. I think this kind of groom study series would teach me quite a lot, so I'm happy to keep doing it for a while. Put the longer projects on the back burner. But yeah, it will be, after this week, it'll be a while before I get back into regular streaming, just because I'll be moving to Canada, living in a house for 2 weeks, and then moving out of that house into my own place. So it's going to be a little bit messy to just sit down and stream during that time. But yeah, anyway, we'll get to that, and we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So enjoy the rest of your night, guys, and yeah, do feel free to reach out if you have suggestions of grooms we can do in the future. Yeah, bye guys.